I've mentioned in the past how the Hymer MLT is probably my favourite motorhome. I say probably as I don't really want to be forced to make a definite decision. And of course, what is my favourite today may not be my favourite tomorrow. The Hymer MLT comes in 4 versions. The MLT 560, 570, 580 and 620. 1 has widthwise double bed and 3 have the German layout. The numbers have nothing to do with their sizes. Their sizes in fact are 674 centimeters for the 560 and 570. The 580 is 698 centimeters and the 620 is 764 centimeters. There is very little difference in the price. The price for the 560 starts at around €70,000 and the 620 is around €74,000. But as always, remember that the base price often has nothing to do with what the vehicle is going to end up costing, which could be a lot more because of the options. This vehicle has been on the market since 2014, so it may be possible to find one on the used market. I've not seen many myself, but I have seen 1 or 2. The used model may cost more than the base price of a new one. And once more, remember that that is because of the options. And remember also, as always, I urge you not to buy a new vehicle, but to buy used. This is not only so that you save money finding out if you like it or not, but also a used vehicle you could possibly have from today. There's no way you're going to get a new one today. Indeed, if you had to wait less than a year, if you bought it today, then I would be really surprised. Now, this is my personal opinion, and what I want in a motorhome may not be what you want. But as I don't know what you want, I'm just going to talk about me and my personal opinion. Once more, remember that everyone has different needs and there's no right or wrong as far as this is concerned. One feature of this van is that it can be on a 4x4 basis. All of them, all of the MLT models can be on a 4x4 basis. Obviously that's going to add a stack to the price, but it might come in handy should you want to drive down a road like the one my navigation sent me down yesterday. Unfortunately I didn't film it, but you'd have been quite shocked if I had. In January 2021, Hymer introduced what it calls the MLT 570 crossover, which is the one you can see in this video. It's on a 4x4 basis and costs €125,000. That's right, €125,000. That's getting on for twice what the base price of the normal one is. Therefore, I would have thought that getting a non-crossover version and taking the off-road option would make more sense. At the time of doing this video, the crossover only appears in the MLT 570. That is to say, with a German layout at the back. And it's the 560, which is the one I would want, the one with the widthwise bed. And for the rest of this video, I shall be talking about the MLT 560. And no doubt in the future, I shall talk about the others. Even in a ready-to-go state, there is over 600 kilos of payload, and the vehicle can be put on a 4,100 kilogram basis. If necessary, that would give 1.2 tons of payload. What I like about the van, other than the magnificent payload, is that it has very good insulation. It's of a size which is easy to handle, being only 222 centimeters wide, and it has a very nice wet room. What I would want more of is more storage. For example, in the bedroom, there are storage lockers only on the rear wall. Although there are 2 wardrobes, one under the bed, both are small. I would like more wardrobe space, but if something is made bigger, then something else has to be made smaller. And that is part of the compromise of a motorhome. And I appreciate that this is a minority opinion. Or maybe it's a minority opinion because people like me are saying things like you need smaller fridges and bigger wardrobes because it's hard to find somewhere to wash your clothes if you're off grid. Never mind. That's the way it is. The garage at the back though is very large. It has a 121cm door at both sides and it can take 450 kilos, which is very impressive in this class. For me, I would also want a bigger table, although the table in this vehicle is quite typical for a motorhome of this size. I like to have plenty of room to spread my things around whilst either working on my computer or whilst eating if there are 2 of us in the van. Or 3, including the dog. But the dog, of course, normally eats off the floor. The table does move around and there is seating against the wall too. So you have a place to put your legs and you can have your feet up whilst at the table. The table in fact moves around 360 degrees. The insulation is really good, something I found out by sleeping in a van in very cold temperatures. The van has a double floor in which the tanks are located and they can be heated, which will stop them freezing. There's not a huge amount of storage in the double floor when compared to, for example, Cartago, for example, or some of the other larger Hymer models. But one good aspect of it is that it means that the floor inside the van is flat and not cold in winter. The freshwater tank is 120 litres and wastewater 100 litres. You can dump the wastewater electronically. The standard battery is 95 amps, which is not much use if you're going to be spending any time off grid. You can get a 270 amp lithium battery as an option, which is more like it, but then you're going to need, of course, the appropriate solar panels to go with it. Remember that in all cases, the base, or nearly all cases, the base price of a vehicle does not include solar panels and includes a very weak battery. The motorhome comes with 4 USB sockets, 2 12-volt sockets and 4 230 mains plugs, or sockets I should say. You can have more, although rather than take it as an option if you're buying new, which of course I advise you not to do, they are not difficult to install and that might work out cheap. And if you can't install them yourself, you could ask getting an electrician to do it, but it'd be much cheaper than getting the dealer to do it, for example. Now, let's have a look at some of the Mercedes safety features. One of the features of this motorhome is that it was one of the first RVs to be equipped with crosswind assist from Mercedes. Strong crosswinds can make driving dangerous, as I'm sure we've all seen in the past. Crosswind assist detects when a crosswind has affected your driving line and corrects the course of the vehicle, reducing the chance of the vehicle moving into another lane or off the road. This video from Mercedes shows the Hymer MLT being tested with this feature before it was introduced onto the market in 2014. I also note the rather nice Westphalia camper van conversion, which I think comes from the 1980s, which you'll see in a moment. Now, as far as this crosswind assist is concerned, I mean, in my opinion, it's particularly noticeable in Italy, where you can be, for example, on the motorway, you can be in a tunnel, you come out the tunnel, you're onto a bridge, and then you can go back into another tunnel. But on the bridge itself, which is in a valley, and you noticed times when the wind sort of hits you as you come out of the tunnel, and a side wind at that. I've also noticed in other places as well. For example, you can be on a motorway where there are acoustic barriers. Then when the acoustic barriers end, it's like a gale suddenly knocks you to one side. And with motorhomes and camper vans, which are typically on a higher than normal vehicles when compared to their base or their footprint, this is particularly a problem. And bear in mind, I am a person who argues that the way for motorhomes to go is to go higher. So anyway, this could be a feature which you find of use. Another feature is something called lane keeping assist, which is an acoustic warning when you stray from your lane. Collision assist is available. This initiates braking when one is too close to other vehicles, and on the latest models it works at speeds of as little as 7 kilometers an hour. 7 kilometers an hour, that's almost walking speed. And cars, I mean, you can get it, it'll even kick in at around 200 kilometers an hour, but you're not going to get 200 kilometers an hour out of an MLT. So I would have thought the top speed of this, looking realistically, would have got 160? Maybe it would. Anyway, good. So I hope you found that interesting, but I'm going to give you some homework to do, and the homework is the following. Write down what your favourite vehicle is and justify your comments, and I can see if I can put together a video using them. I'm also interested in what realistic features people want in motorhomes, and I'll try to incorporate that. Not only that, when I do reviews, I'll try and incorporate what people tell me, what they think is important. And as long as it's realistic, because lots of people think, you know, they make really unrealistic demands. I mean, if a vehicle is 2 meters by 6 meters by 2 meters, so you've got 24 cubic meters, you cannot expect to have that 24 cubic meters miraculously become 40 cubic meters or something like that. Well, slide outs do help, but it's, well, anyway, write down what you think. Thanks very much for watching. Give it me a like as well if you don't mind, if you got this far, because that I think that might help me. All the best from Poland.